What's happening, guys? This is House Cat MMA, and right now I'm going to be going over what happened at UFC 326. What the fuck? But before I get into all that, if you would just take a second to like and subscribe, maybe do a little bit of commenting and sharing, that should be tight as fuck. So I'm going to be going over the last two fights on the prelims and the whole main card, starting with Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. See, I thought Dante Johnson was gonna dispatch of Cody Brundage quick as fuck, probably 2.5, 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes into the first round. That did not happen. In fact, Cody Brundage won the first round. Dante Johnson went in there pretty overzealous, and he got taken down by Brundage and got controlled for the majority of the first round. And then they kind of got separated, and they were exchanging a little bit on the feet, and Cody Brundage got the better of that by a narrow margin. And then second round comes around, and you know it was they were exchanging on the feet a little bit, and there was a point in time where they were in a situation where Johnson had him in a front headlock position, and then they scrambled around a little bit, and then Dober took his back, but Johnson was able to sneak through the back door. Then they ended up back on feet at some point, I'm pretty sure, and there was another point where Dante Johnson had Brundage in a front headlock position in the second round, and third round comes around, and they pretty much exchanged on the feet here or there. They did a little bit of walling against the cage. But the thing is, it kind of looked like, well, there was a point in time, I'd say around the 6 or 7 minute mark, where Johnson looked like he wanted to win more than Brundage did. I don't really know what happened after the first round, but Brundage just kind of let the fight pass him by, and that was a very winnable fight for him. And I'm just not sure what happened, but I get it. I think Cody Brundage is a guy that he does some really cool shit in the training room, but when it comes time for competition, I think he shuts down a little bit. I was a victim of that too in my high school wrestling career, so I kind of get what happens when he kind of doesn't really look like he wants to be there. Like, he wants to be there, he wants to do well, but he can't kick it in that high gear. And I think if he kicked it into that high gear, I think he would have beat Dante Johnson. So it kind of sucked to see him let that fight slip away, even though I did want Dante Johnson to win, because I think Dante Johnson is dope as fuck. Now we got Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long. So the thing about that was Zhao Long was pretty much winning the whole time by a narrow margin. Like, not that narrow, but it was a little narrow. And like, he was just, he had more of a diverse striking style than Garbrandt. He was getting Garbrandt with a couple of head kicks here or there, a couple of leg kicks, this, that, and the third, just kind of outstriking Garbrandt. Come third round, Zhao Long got it in his head that he really wanted to kick Garbrandt in the nuts repeatedly. And so first time it happened, Herb was like, all right, it happens, all right, fight again. Second time it happened, fucking Garbrandt took to puking. And Herb took a point. And then Long did it a third time. And then Herb took another point. So Garbrandt ended up winning 28-27, but he lost all 3 rounds. But I got that one right. I got that one right, and I love that Garbrandt won, and I especially think it's hilarious that he won when he lost all 3 rounds. I love that. He might be the luckiest man in MMA today. Definitely the luckiest man last night. And then we got Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. I was tickled shitless about this one. They were kind of exchanged on the feet. Nothing really landed until Rodriguez knocked Ferreira the fuck out. And I love that. I love to see a man that got knocked out by a guy come back a few years later and knock out the guy that knocked him out. That was beautiful. I love it. I am a Rodriguez guy. I'm not a Rodriguez maniac, but I'm a Rodriguez guy. I do enjoy the man they call Gregory Rodriguez. And now we got my boy Michael Johnson versus Drew Dober. I really wanted Johnson to win this fight. I like I like Dober and Johnson. But I was choosing Anthony Johnson to win because I remember being a 13-year-old boy watching him on what was it, season 12 of The Ultimate Fighter, and he lost to Jonathan Brookins in the finals, and I wanted Brookins to win that fight, but I like Johnson too, so I've kind of grown up watching Michael Johnson, and they just kind of exchanged for, what was it, like 7-8 minutes, somewhere in there. Pretty even. I think Dober might have got the very slight best of it, but second round Dober just knocked him flat the fuck out. And good on Dober. I was wanting to see Johnson put together a 4-fight win streak because I think he's only done that. Has he done that? He's done that once before at the beginning of his career, I'm pretty sure. I was wanting to see him do it again, but good on Dober. Dober's kind of like that guy that where if you can beat him, you belong at ranked 13 to 15 if you can beat Dober. And now we got Raul Rosas versus Rob Font. Raul Rosas just kind of went out there and took Font down whenever he fucking felt like it. Just whenever he got it in his head that he was going to take Font down, he did that. And Font was doing it. He would start to do a decent job, but maybe trying to reverse some shit. There was one time where he sprawled and spun to Rosas's back, but Rosas said, "To hell with you," and that, and reversed it. But yeah, Font would always just start to do some cool shit, and then Rosas would be like, "Hey, yeah, no, we're not doing that funny business." And Rosas did that pretty much the whole 15 minutes and got the decision win. Now we got Cal Barajo versus my boy Reiner de Ritter. I was really wanting de Ritter to win that. It was just a deal where Barajo hit de Ritter with the bigger shots, the more substantial shots. Whenever the fight went to the ground, Barajo was able to get him down to do more shit than Reiner de Ritter was able to do when de Ritter would get Barajo down the one time he did. I think one thing that I saw about de Ritter was de Ritter he's got this striking style where he's very tall and he throws a lot of looping shit. He'll throw something straight here or there, but he really likes to throw looping shit. And one thing I saw is maybe if he kind of got like this, and I think if he threw a more stiff jab, I think that would do him very well in the future. I really wished Ritter was 31, 32, or even 33, because he's 35 now, and I think he's gonna win a few more fights in the UFC. Who knows what will happen next for him, but I wish he was a little younger because I think he could do some cool shit in the UFC, and I think he still might. I think he still will, actually. But I think he would do a lot more cooler shit if he was 2 to 3 years younger. And now we got, so Barajo got the decision win, and I think, you got to give Barajo to Brendan Allen next. Barajo just thinks he's cool enough to beat my boy Reiner de Ritter, throw him to Brendan Allen, and Brendan Allen will show you how to fucking wrestle fuck somebody. And now we got Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. I did not think that Oliveira was going to be able to get Holloway down whenever he felt like it, the way he did. Just whenever he got it in his head that he was going to do that, he would just fucking do it. And, Holloway would defend a little bit, but that was pretty much all fucking all Oliveira. Holloway got him down for a couple of seconds in the 5th round, but that was all fucking. Even on the feet, I think the beginning of the 1st round, Holloway would got some a little bit of shit going on the feet, but hey kitty, but it was Oliveira hit Holloway on the feet more than Holloway hit Oliveira on the feet, and that's a scary thing. A guy in Oliveira who like, he's a jiu-jitsu ace, but he's comfortable on the feet too. And since he's comfortable on the feet, he can kind of throw whatever he feels like throwing because he wants to fight on the ground anyway. So he doesn't care if you take him down. Like, Oliveira's a problem, and it's just that fight just kind of shows how good fucking Ilia Topuria is, because Oliveira's still one of the baddest motherfuckers going, and Topuria knocked Oliveira out in 2 minutes and 27 seconds. So, and coming up, I think it's June 15th, we got Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, and I don't like that fight because Gaethje's gonna get knocked out, I think, pretty quick by Topuria. But after seeing Holloway versus Oliveira, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between Topuria and Oliveira. I think Topuria would still win, but for some reason it got me wanting to see that rematch. But hell yeah, fuck yeah. This is House Cat MMA. Like I was saying earlier, make sure you do your subscribing, your liking, your commenting, your sharing. Hell yeah, fuck yeah. I'll catch y'all later.